$220,000 a month. That you creating pornography to keep men stuck in this perpetual lustful cycle. Pornography is the most shallow thing you could possibly do. Delete your OnlyFans account. What profound wisdom we have here. What profound wisdom I have found. I am a lonely man. Just have sex with a sex worker. No one actually believes this is a good idea. I think deep down inside, everyone knows this will not fix or heal anybody, and it certainly can't address men who are struggling with loneliness. The fact that anyone could even say that, oh, I can fix loneliness by sleeping with the virgin men who are struggling with loneliness kind of points to a deeper wound that exists in our world. I think really we seem to just have no idea what loneliness is anymore. We think that loneliness is more of just a physical or emotional issue, but really it's a deeper, more spiritual issue. We tend to think it's a lack of sex or physical touch or social status or not having the right relationship. And really it's more than just who's around you and what you feel in these like kind of emotional moments around other people. It's really about what's happening inside you. And we all kind of know this, right? Like you can be in a crowd and be completely alone, right? You could be in a relationship and feel completely alone. And I think this points to a deeper spiritual issue. I think both men and women maybe struggle with seeing that a solution to loneliness isn't just a relationship or physical touch or having conversations with people or being around other people physically. It's a spiritual longing for something that maybe you just quite can't put your finger on, or maybe you don't quite understand. And that's really what we're going to dive into this video today. Okay, here we are. So it starts off with, I'm on a mission to stop virgin men joining angry incel communities. Here's how I'm performing this public service. So it says she's making a cell to stop incels. A model says she's planning to have sex with virgin men to give them a great first experience and stop them from joining angry incel forums. Cami Straya, who makes $220,000 a month on OnlyFans. I'm going to say that again. $220,000 a month. $220,000 is you're probably not hurting, some would say. You're doing pretty good. I don't think you have any financial problems, to say the least. So granted, you did sell your soul to do that, which is unfortunate. So $220,000 a month on OnlyFans. Says she's been inspired to help inexperienced youngsters after watching the Netflix crime drama Adolescence, which centers around the dangers of the incel community. I have no interest to see that movie, I'm not gonna lie. I consider this a form of public service. Hey, here's a thought, okay? Cami, delete your OnlyFans account, okay? You really wanna serve the public right now, especially guys, especially the guys that you claim to be helping. You should just delete your OnlyFans and delete the root of the problem, which is lust and this darkness that you perpetuate on the internet. And granted, it's not just a one-way road, right? How is she making $220,000 a month? I mean, guys, why is this woman getting $220,000 a month? What's going on? 220 grand a month from dudes, right? Like, let's be real here. There's $220,000 being given to her from random dudes on the internet. So it goes both ways, unfortunately. But if she really is concerned, if this is really a problem, just delete your OnlyFans. I don't see what the problem is. Just delete your OnlyFans. Anyways, I consider this a form of public service. The bombshell told Jam Press, I want to help those who have never had sex before avoid going down a bad path. All the virgins will be aged 18 and over, with Straya looking to help men who may struggle socially or lack confidence. People have a desperate need for connection, she explained, but we live in a world that offers instant gratification through things like dating apps without a deeper bond. I love how she has the audacity to point out that dating apps are very shallow. Hey, dude, pornography is the most shallow thing you could possibly do. I can promise you it's magnitudes more destructive than every dating app combined. And don't get me wrong, dating apps have their problems too, but like, you're going to sit here and talk down on dating. Dating apps are really the problem. They kind of remove this deeper bond, but you're not even going to accept the fact that you creating pornography to keep men stuck in this perpetual lustful cycle and this perpetual cycle of temptation isn't somehow like mind-bogglingly worse. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me you can say that dating apps are bad, but then you'll say, oh, but what I do isn't way worse. Anyways, moving on here. I want to show these men what real connection can look like, even when it's with a sex worker. The content creator further proclaimed, in my opinion, that kind of connection can feel validating. And when it's done right, it can actually be therapeutic. Somehow I doubt that. Somehow, not even somehow, I 100% doubt it. If this were so simple as just, these men are lonely, so they should just go have sex. Like, what is the difference between them having sex with you and them watching OnlyFans or porn, right? Yeah, sure, there's physical intimacy, but both are perpetuating the same issue of this never-ending cycle of lust, right? And we'll kind of dive into it here in a little bit, but there's this unquenchable thirst. And greed is kind of the same way too. There's you never have enough. It's why people who have porn addiction, right? It's like they have to just keep going and they keep looking for newer and newer content, and it's never enough, right? You're stuck in this kind of temptation loop. Anyways, kind of getting off topic there a little bit, but yeah, the fact that she can say, is this therapeutic, is rich. That's stupid. Straya, who is a former neuroscience student, says many young men simply want to be seen and validated. And for those who might raise their eyebrows about fellas forking out cash to get into bed with her, the beauty says it's better than the alternative. I don't think it is, actually. I think, I certainly hope there's no guy who's contemplating doing this, but you're better off not spending money on a prostitute. I mean, that's what it is, right? Just plain and simple. Like, that's what it is. Okay, if you're selling sex for money, that's prostitution. Okay, like that's nothing new under the sun here. Okay, that's not a revelation. Okay, that's what she's doing. Anyways, moving on here. I definitely believe that engaging with a sex worker is a much healthier thing to do than going on an incel forum, Straya said. They, incels, are following people that they think are thought leaders, but those men don't know anything about masculinity. If I can give someone a safe, judgment-free space to explore, I would love... Okay, anyways, that doesn't end anywhere useful. Yeah, so in case this wasn't super obvious, this lady here is definitely not the arbiter of masculinity by any means. Okay, she's in one of the most evil, demonic industries on our planet, and she's trying to give advice to men somehow. Like, this is somehow, like, is this supposed to be something we read and we think, man, what profound wisdom we have here. What profound wisdom I have found. I am a lonely man, just have sex with a sex worker. It's like, dude, this is not going to help anybody, right? And I'm repeating myself multiple times, but I am dumbfounded at who actually thinks this is a good idea. So I kind of want to wrap up sort of the tail end of this video by asking some like reflective questions that maybe address the root cause of the various issues covered in this topic. And sort of the first question that comes to my mind here is, am I only valuable if someone wants me sexually? Do we only find our worth when people of the opposite sex view us as desirable? And I think the root cause of this issue is that we tie our identity and worth to desirability, and that's completely false. That could not be any further from the truth. Your value, your identity, your worth, all of these things come from God. He's the one that instills this image of God within you. He's the one who chose you for a very specific purpose, and that's instilled in every single one of us. We may not know what that is right this exact moment. We may not even know what it is a year, 2, 5 years from now. We don't really know with certainty, but we know that we are called for more, called for something intrinsically meaningful and valuable and fulfilling. I think men do a huge amount of damage to themselves when they tie their worth to desirability and whether or not women want to sleep with them. Like, that's not going to fill your soul. That's not going to reward you in the long run. I think the second reflection question that I was kind of thinking about watching this video, not me personally, but I think a lot of guys probably wrestle with this. If I still feel empty after sex, then what is it that I'm actually longing for? And I think the root of that issue is that it's a misdiagnosed ache. And what I mean by that is that I think men are taught to constantly chase pleasure, and that once they do that, they can fill this kind of purpose-shaped void that's in their heart. And I think deep down they know it's not going to work, but they do it anyways because they just want to feel something, because they just want that dopamine release, because for some reason men kind of have this tendency, and I don't mean this to like, bag on men or anything. I don't think all men struggle with this, but I think men have a tendency to glorify, sex and body count and like how promiscuous they can be. And they'll apply this double standard that like women don't also like. It's gross when a bunch of women have a high body count, but when a guy has a high body count, somehow it's okay. And really the biblical answer is both of those are reprehensible, right? A high body count in a woman and a high body count in a man, we're both on the same boat here. This is both bad, both not good, both should not do. Sex is designed in the confines of marriage because not only is it sacred, it's you're affecting somebody at a soul level. So the verse I wanted to go over is 1 Thessalonians 4, verses 3 through 5. It is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable, not in passionate lust like the pagans who do not know God. That kind of leads me into the third reflection question, which is sexual self-control weakness or strength? And I think when you look at these kind of alpha, like red pill spaces on the internet, I think self-control is often demonized and viewed as a weakness. That the only reason men, target self-control or focus on self-control is because they can't have sex with whoever they want, whenever they want, right? It's the same reason they defend these like weird poly relationships that they have where they have to like tell their wife that they're going to go sleep with all these other women. It's pathetic. At the end of the day, I'm going to say it like it is. Like, that's pathetic. That's stupid. That's not masculine. You're a 17-year-old living in like a 35-year-old body. And I think you see this too. There was some clip with, I think it was Lila Rose and Justin Waller, right? Perfect example where like Lila Rose is pushing him and saying like, hey, you have the capability to be successful in business and in finance, but can't you leverage that same discipline in your marriage, in your ability to control your hormones? And he responds and basically says, no, I can't. I can't control myself. Like, that's weakness, dude. That's not masculinity. Masculinity is having the ability to control yourself and to resist temptation, because that's what Jesus did, right? Jesus was a master at resisting temptation, right? And we should walk in those footsteps, not because we're going to be as capable as Jesus, but because we can rely on Jesus whenever we're tempted. He always gives us a way out. Back to 1 Thessalonians here, like Paul's urging us to avoid sexual immorality, to avoid pornography and what this unfortunate woman was suggesting. That lust and just this like kind of desire for the flesh will never satisfy your soul. It's never going to fill that hole that's in your heart. And I think deep down, so many of us know this. Even if you're not a Christian, even if you haven't given your life to Jesus, I think you know underneath all the noise that there's something deeper and deeply spiritual behind sexuality and behind, who you are and who God made you to be, even if you don't want to believe that there's something more there, right? There's something more sacred behind sexuality and how we view relationships and marriage and all these different things. Like, there's something clearly more valuable there. And that kind of leads me into sort of the closing part of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me throughout all this. It means a lot. If you could just leave a comment below, subscribe, share the video, all that stuff, it would help me out a lot. Would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you on the next one.